Hi guys, this is Abhinav Bansal and let's start with the news story of 30th June. The first news that we have is State of World Population Report. This State of World Population Report is released by United Nations Population Fund. Okay, so where are the headquarters of this? These are in New York. Okay, so you must remember the headquarters of these kind of organizations. And now one thing that you should also remember about this is its earlier name was United Nations Fund for Population Activities. So sometimes it's also written like UNFPA. Okay, so don't get confused if you find it written like this. Now, what does the report say? The report talks about 19 harmful practices against women, out of which 3 are most widespread or prevalent among the countries. Okay, so first is female genital mutilation, second is child marriage, third is son preference. So you must be knowing what is female genital mutilation. It is, the removal of external genitalia of women where it is altered or injured for non-medical reasons. Okay, the external genitalia of women is removed or altered for non-medical reasons. These reasons can be social or religious. These social reasons can be, to lower or restrict her libido or sexual desires, something like that. Okay, so these are the 3 gender violence most prevalent among countries. Now next we have globally 1 in 5 girls is married by age 18. 1 in 5 girls globally is married by age 18. In India, child marriage is directly linked to poverty. Yeah. Now you should also know that economic survey of 2017-18, it talked about similar things. Like first of all, it talked that key education, child marriage and physical and emotional violence, these are directly linked with poverty. Okay, so if there is more poverty, then educational status will be less. If there is more poverty, child marriage will be more. Okay, and if there is more poverty, physical and emotional violence against women will be more, and similar things are talked here. Child marriage is directly linked to poverty, poor education and geographical location. Geographical location you can get, rural has more poverty than urban. Okay, so this kind of child marriage is more prevalent in rural areas. Okay, now economic survey also talked of key employment of women and gender based sex selection is inversely, or you can say directly proportional to the economic status of a family. If economic status of a family increases, they tend to take out their women out of employment. Therefore, if your economic status increases, employment of women decreases. And gender sex selection, like in Punjab and Haryana, as they prospered because of Green Revolution, the sex ratio over there decreased. So as economic status increased, gender sex selection increased. Similar thing is talked here, कि gender based sex selection has emerged as a problem among affluent families. Okay, now the report also talks about this missing girls concept. What are missing girls? Missing girls can be, the girls which are missing and should be present in the census, but they are missing because of some reason. That reason may be prenatal. Natal means birth, pre means before birth. Okay, that reason can be before birth, like female feticide, that's why they are missing. Or that reason can be post-natal also, like infanticide, that the girl child was killed after she was born. Okay, or she was not given proper nutrition, that why she died. Okay, so these kind of implications that result into death of women or female, and we are artificially lowering the sex ratio. So this artificial lowering of girls sex ratio or the number of girls in the society is regarded as missing girls. So this report says that missing girls in India are around 46 million, and worldwide these are 142 million. Okay, and they are maximum in China, which is like 70 million. Okay, and female feticide numbers are 1.2 million. And Economic Survey 2018 also talked about another concept of unwanted girls. It told that the number of unwanted girls in India are 21 million. Okay, you should remember these facts. Now, the report was prepared when COVID just started, so it hasn't, taken into account all the parameters of COVID, but it says that because of COVID, these parameters are, going to get worsened. Okay, and so the suggestions it gives, these tackle the root causes, especially the gender-biased norms, and estimating the funding needs and tracking financial flows for sexual and reproductive health services. Okay, now we get to the next. Now we have India-Bhutan signed pact for first joint venture hydropower project. Okay, so first of all, you should know that Bhutan is what, a Himalayan state. So it has a lot of potential for hydropower production. Okay, so in 2006, both India and Bhutan signed an agreement in which it was said that India will, create a total of 10,000 megawatt of installed capacity by 2020. Okay, so since then we are undertaking various projects like this Mangadechu project. This Mangadechu project was completed just last year, and one project is not written here, but that is important. It is Punat Sangchu. Punat Sangchu project. So this is also a project that is likely to complete very soon. The work is almost complete, like 90% has been completed, and this will be in news in a very short time. Mangadechu was completed in 2019, and now we are talking about this Kholongchu project. Kholongchu project is the first project that will be constructed as a 50-50 joint venture, not as a government to government agreement. Earlier what used to happen, key projects were taken up as government to government agreements, and it was not joint venture between India and Bhutan, but now it will be taken as joint venture of 50-50, and it is likely to get completed by the second half of 2025. I think another point that you may like to remember is these are, joint venture partners are Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam and Bhutanese Druk Green Power Corporation. I think if you remember these facts, then it is very much sufficient. So first of all, you should know about this Kholongchu project. Okay. Second, you should know about Punat Sangchu project and Mangadechu project. These are all the things that you need to know. So now we have convalescent plasma therapy in India. First of all, we should know what is plasma. So what is plasma? You take blood and you remove RBCs, WBCs, platelets and other cellular things, and then you are remained with the fluid which is like yellowish in color. So that yellowish fluid is called plasma. What is the importance of plasma? So plasma has these antibodies which fight with what? Antigen. Antibody fight with antigens like coronavirus. Okay. So these plasma has antibodies which fight with antigens like virus, coronavirus or bacteria or something like that. Okay, that's why what we do, we take out plasma from the people who are already cured. Why? Because they already have the required antibodies that could fight with the coronavirus and could win over coronavirus. That's why these antibodies are taken from the cured person to someone who really needs it, because his plasma or his blood is not able to generate these kind of antibodies. So artificially these antibodies are taken from him and given to another. This is the basic mechanism of convalescent plasma therapy. Now we need to know what are the current of things that are happening on this. These are very simple. First, Delhi is going to set up first plasma bank in India. Okay, and then Project Platina is going to be started by Maharashtra. It will be world's largest CPT, trial come project for treatment of critical COVID-19 patients. Okay, now you can read all this. I have explained to you all the mechanism. Okay, now let's move on to another. Yeah, now we have a new scheme, PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. It is launched by which ministry? It is Ministry of Food Processing and Industries. Okay, so first of all we should know what is formalization. Formalization, for formalization you have to fulfill two things. First is your company should pay some kind of taxes, and your company should offer some kind of social security to your workers. If you are not doing either of these, then you come under informal sector. Okay, so what we are trying to do under this scheme is we are trying to formalize this sector, as well as we are trying to upgrade their technology and their know-how by doing some research, and we are trying to provide them finances, technical know-how, business support, etc. So I think you get the point. This is likely to generate 9 lakh skilled and semi-skilled employment, and with a total investment of rupees 35,000 crore. Okay, the funding pattern is like this. For northeastern and Himalayan state it's 90:10, and for other general states it's 60:40. Okay, it means it's not a central sector scheme. It's not a central sector scheme. It's a centrally sponsored scheme, because the money is getting shared among center and states. If center was taking all the burden 100%, then it would have been central sector scheme. Now we look at the key features. First is scheme adopts one district, one product approach. Why one district, one product approach? Because if we do like this, one district is designated for one product only, then we make it easy for the import of raw materials, and we make it easy for the marketability of the produce, things like that. Okay, then states would identify food product for a district, keeping in view existing clusters and availability of raw material. So that's the thing that I have just explained. It will focus on waste to wealth products, minor forest produce, and aspirational districts. Okay, so aspirational districts will be focused upon along with minor forest produce and waste to wealth products. There is nothing to understand in these things. You just have to remember these silly facts. The next is support will be provided for common infrastructure and branding, marketing. So all these things I have already explained to you. Now, this point is important, that you must remember. Micro enterprises will get 35% subsidy on project cost. So whatever their cost is, they will get 35% capital subsidy on that, but there is a ceiling of 10 lakh. Okay. What are micro enterprises? Micro enterprises consists of units in rural areas as well as family run enterprises. Seed capital, this is not that literally seed, it is a initial seed capital, that initially you will get 40,000 per SHG member For working capital, that is, you need the capital that you need to run a business is called working capital, and purchase of small tools. Okay, special focus on capital building and research. Capital building, what I explained to you here, formalization, similar capital building, because you have to convert informal to formal. That's why we need capital building and research. Okay, so these are the key points of PM formalization of micro food processing in enterprises. Now we'll move on to next. This is also very simple thing. Rising imports of electronic transmissions a threat to developing countries. UNCTAD report. You can call it UNCTAD or UNCTAD, whatever you want. So UNCTAD is an agency of UN. What is the main goal of UNCTAD? If you know its main goal, then it will be very easy to get why we are talking like this. UNCTAD tries to make it easier for the developing countries to integrate themselves in the global economy, and it also tries to make a level playing field for the developing countries. By level playing field I mean it wants to keep up the interests of the developing countries on the face of developed countries. That's why we see in this article also UNCTAD has favored India's stance on ending the e-commerce moratorium, which has led to loss of revenue for developing countries and for India. First of all, let's go step by step. First of all, what is electronic transmissions? Electronic transmissions are like if you buy something on Amazon.com. I'm not talking about Amazon.in, I'm talking about Amazon.com. If you buy some Kindle book or buy some game or things like that, or you buy these kind of things on some website that Indian government does not monitor, so let's say xyzbc.com. okay. So if you buy these kind of digital things online, then government don't impose taxes on these things. Okay, so this kind of tax revenue that is foregone, this foregone tax revenue amounts to, it is $500 million per year for Indian government. So this is the loss to the Indian government because of this e-commerce moratorium. This moratorium is on custom duties. Okay, what is moratorium? Moratorium is a temporary standstillness, or temporary, you decide ki you are not going to do anything. So this e-commerce moratorium, which is moratorium on custom duties, is costing Indian government a lot of money because they are not able to impose taxes on them. Developed countries like US, European Union, Australia, Singapore, Japan want this moratorium to continue, but India along with some other developing countries like South Africa want this moratorium to go away. Okay, this is the crux of this news article. And UNCTAD has recently favored India's stance. Okay, now next, also in news now, Covaxin. Covaxin is a India's first vaccine candidate for COVID-19. So we will get more updates on this, but recently what you should know ki it has got approval for human clinical trials from Drug Controller General of India. This you must remember ki this approval is given by Drug Controller General of India. Now Prasant Chandra Mahalanobis, you can read about him. There is nothing to discuss. Then Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology banned 59 Chinese mobile apps. Everybody knows that TikTok has been banned. The only thing that you must remember in this is section 69A of Information Technology Act. So these apps has been banned under this section of which act? Information Technology Act 2000. Okay, now PM Swanidhi portal. What is this PM Swanidhi Yojana? First of all, you need to know what is Swanidhi scheme. If you know what is Swanidhi scheme, then you will automatically get to know why portal has been made. Swanidhi scheme was to give 10,000 rupees to street vendors and to enable them to pay back that 10,000 on a continuous basis, like monthly paybacks. And if they are paying it back on a continuous basis, then this limit can be increased to 20,000, 30,000, like that. So PM Swanidhi portal is to facilitate all these payments and cashbacks and all that. Now, Maharashtra to launch plug and play infrastructure. Plug and play infrastructure is what? If you want to start a company, you don't need to get any clearance or any kind of, you don't need to request the government for power or water or sewer connectivity or road connectivity. Maharashtra government will take a place, build all the infrastructure around it, everything that is needed, and you just need to go there, take up your machinery and start producing. Nothing has to be done. Air, water, all these clearances would have already been taken before you have arrived there. So that is plug and play infrastructure. And yeah, now we have Narcondam Hornbill. So we have put a question in our daily quiz where you have to arrange the islands of Andaman and Nicobar from north to south. The islands that are given are roughly these: Narcondam Island, and then if this is Andaman Nicobar, roughly Narcondam Island is here, then here is Barren Island, then here is Savraj Dweep, and then Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island, then just below that is Port Blair. So you should remember these things. And Narcondam Island is a dormant volcano is present over there, and it's a volcanic island in Andamans. It is often confused with Barren Island, so please go through the map. And then we need to know that Narcondam Hornbill is a frugivore, that is, it mainly depends on fruits and vegetables, but it can also be herbivores or omnivores. It can also eat invertebrates. Then IUCN status is endangered. Gangotri National Park, all of us know what is Gangotri, where is Gangotri. Just see what are the upstream tributaries of Ganga and from where it is originate, things like that geographically. Now we have UN 75 declaration delayed our climate text. You can also read this, there is nothing complex here. 75th anniversary of UN Charter was to be celebrated, but it is getting delayed because US has raised concerns over a paragraph on climate, and earlier India had objected to language that was considered too aligned with Chinese. Nothing, it's just global geopolitics, nothing else. Thanks, this was it. I hope you liked the video. Please give your comments so that we can improve in the future. Thank you.